So, good morning. Yes, let's start by coming into butterfly. So you take your, you guys are really close today, huh? You take your feet together. You want 2 hands length between your groin and your heels. Lift up nice and tall, and then bring your chin to your chest and start to curl down. Let your head drop. Let your expectations drop. What else do you want to drop? So just feel the first pose. And often it comes with like a nice amount of resistance. So take a big breath in with your exhale, just sigh out. Ah. And let's start this morning from the cosmos, reminding us and everyone why we're here. These are in the words of Orland Bishop. You might even know them by now. Infinite stars, infinite space, source of the knowledge of the worlds, giver of thoughts that empower creation, transforming light into the elements of matter, radiate before my mind the 7 keys that unlock the doors of the mystery temple, that I may enter and fulfill the purpose for which my birth initiates. And start today by, in a way, remembering your star, or maybe, think of a deep wish, like not a wish to have like nice new shoes, but more of a wish that's like about your biography, about the world, about what you're here for. You can have it as a wish or an intention or a goal. And it should be a big wish, like kind of epic or divine. A little bit with the idea of if we shoot for the moon and we miss, we land in the stars. And if you can picture it, imagine that intention out there in the sky, in the stars. And then feel as you come with your attention to look at your own thinking, it's as if you can kind of try to fit all the stars of the universe in your thinking and in your head. And just take a couple moments and notice how your thinking is today. See if you can soften for the last couple moments of this pose here. Maybe your tongue relaxes, your jaw unclenches. And then inhale, roll up. Place your hands back behind you. Fingers spinning back towards your hips if that's okay. If not, you can have them go out to the sides. And then lift up your hips. If it's all right for your neck, drop your head back, stick out your tongue, look at your third eye, and with a whisper, roar like a lion. 2 more. Lift your hips higher. Exhale, lion roar. 1 more. And then bring your hips back down. Gracefully wipe off your chin and slide into, unless you have a beard, and slide into Sphinx pose. So often we start our class with these really basic postures. And maybe it's to complement your complexity. And just take a moment to notice how your heart is this morning. Sometimes that feels like saying, just look and see what's in your blind spot. So today is, well, late tonight. It's the full moon, the spring equinox. We're moving into the sign of Aries, I believe, the ram. So notice you have some feelings that are easy to identify, and then there's kind of it's like, you don't have like fat black lines outlining, okay, here's my happiness and here's my, sadness. It can be a little bit more vague. And just like you imagined how the starry heights fit into your head and fit into your thinking, just notice for a moment how your thinking shows you your feelings. How you observe and what you're looking for often biases what you see. So before we move on from the feeling realm, just like we had a wish in our intention, maybe notice your feeling wish for today. And if you want to slide your right thigh up, this last minute of the Sphinx, just adding a little hips. You can also think of this as a half frog. And take a couple moments to notice your energy. And then take your left hand and reach it behind your right elbow, grab onto your knee, and then opening up your left arm, excuse me, roll open to a little twist here. Take a full inhale. With your exhale, just sigh out. And take a couple moments and start to notice your physical body. And then roll back onto your belly or into your sphinx, actually. And bring your left knee up. And just with your imagination, feel how your body is host for your energy, your feelings, and your capacity to think. Very much like kind of the cosmos and the heavens is part of what, like this like infinite dark space is part of what we need to be able to even see the stars. Reach behind your left elbow and grab onto your knee, and then open up your left arm to the side there and let it twist you open on the outside of your right thigh. If you grab someone's foot, just go ahead and say, hey. Take another full inhale, and with your exhale, sigh out. Ah. So when the spring equinox, this equal time of night and day, and of course that really only is exactly true depending where you are in the world. It's a little bit different every place you go. So this morning the sunrise was at 9 minutes to 6. And the sunset is at 6:02. But it's this marker of when, the scales are just in that moment of balance before again the light grows more and the darkness ebbs all the way to the summer solstice. When we take the time to observe our connections to nature, we see them echoed everywhere. Roll back onto your belly. And push yourself back into child's pose. And then inhale, roll up and tuck your toes under for a spicy start to our heat. Tuck your toes under and come into a seated position. It wasn't clear. And let's ohm into the yang part of our practice. So let your elbows be heavy, your hands connect at your breastbone, and you want to lift your head. You can think of having like an L underneath your chin for nearly all your practice, but you really want to lift your head so you're available to the world. And then even with your eyes closed, the alignment can stay. So maybe roll the tops of your ears slightly up. Yes, now your eyes sparkle. It's so cool. Now you can close them. Now, empty your breath and let's see what the sound is this morning. Take a deep inhale. Interesting. All right, bring your hands down and slap out your feet. Wah! And then just rock back to stretch the fronts of your ankles. And then rock forward into tabletop. Inhale, lift up your head, your heart, and your hips. Feel your shoulders pulling back, your sit bones separating. Exhale, push the ground away and actually float your knees. Weight on the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift up into cow. And exhale, feel your belly lifting, pushing your spine, arching your back like a cat, lifting your knees. Inhale, lift up into cow, even with your belly, kind of relaxed. Pull your abdominals in a little bit. And then exhale, float your knees. And then inhale, come to a neutral spine and stretch your right leg back. Engage your lower abdominals, and from your kind of power center, lift your leg so it's parallel to the mat, lined up from your hip. And then pull your toes towards your shin and just see if you can take your leg, out to your right. Yeah. And then bring your weight back to the center of your hands and then stretch your right leg back. Now inhale, stretch your left arm straight forward. And with your exhale, just bend your elbow and knee and cactus your limbs. Inhale, reach long. 2 more. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, pull it in. It's kind of like being a stingray. I don't know. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, pull it in. And then hold this for the inhale. And with your next exhale, tap your elbow and knee together underneath your belly. Suck your belly up. Inhale, open up. Exhale, pull it in tight. Inhale, open up. Exhale, pull it in tight. And then inhale, stretch your left arm forward, right leg back. And then spin your left foot, right foot behind your left toes and come into a supported side plank. Now see if maybe you can lift up your top leg. And then see if you can cactus. Nothing. And then inhale, stretch long. Exhale, we'll just fudge over that, okay? Come back. Inhale up, cow. Let your head, your heart, and your hips open. Exhale, push the ground away. Pull the belly up. Lift up your knees. Inhale, open up your head, your heart, and your hips. Exhale, float your knees. Lift your belly. And then bring your knees back down. And we're going to do the same thing. So come to a neutral spine. Stretch your left leg back. Feel your lower abdominals really engaged to carry the weight of your leg. Lift your leg up. And first thing, you're going to flex your toes and take your legs straight out. Yeah. Trying not to lean too much to the right. That makes it a little juicier, huh? And then inhale, stretch your leg back. Reach back, your pinky toe springing to the ground. Inhale, stretch your right arm forward. And then with your exhale, you're going to cactus your knee and your elbow. Yes. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, cactus. And then take an inhale here. And with your exhale, tap your elbow and knee together. Pull your belly up. Inhale, open up like an accordion maybe. And then exhale, tap. One more time. Inhale, open up. Exhale, tap. And then inhale, stretch long again. Feel the connection between your left foot and your right hand, thumb facing up towards the sky. And then spin your left foot behind your right foot. Stretch up with your left arm, not collapsing in your shoulders. Beautiful. And then if you want to play a little bit more with balance, see if you can just float your top leg up. Allow your breath to help you. Good morning, Yonasan. Maybe a hint of a smile. Now do that weird cactus thing if you really want to be type A and balanced. Yeah, it didn't work out so well. It messes with your balance. Ew. But life isn't always graceful. Inhale, stretch long, and exhale, come down. Inhale, open up your head, your heart, and your hips into cow. Maybe mentally thinking moo. Exhale, float your knees, pull your belly up into a meow. And then inhale, lift up your head, your heart, and your hips. Feel your sit bones separating. Tuck your toes under. And with your exhale, lift up into downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale, just sigh it out. And then inhale, glide forward to plank. Exhale, reach back to downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward to plank, like all the way. Feel your abdominals helping you come to your tippy toes, and then exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale, glide forward to plank. Come to the very tips of your toes. Now drop your knees, chest, and chin, and you want your hips lifting as high as they can. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, low cobra. Toenails push down to the ground. Maybe float your hands to see that your back's working. Pull your shoulders back. And then exhale, relax down to the mat. Now inhale, low cobra. Exhale, come back down. Now see if you can drag your hands even lower down to your ribs. Squeeze your legs together. Lift up your legs before your head and your chest. Get your legs really lifting. Squeeze your legs together. Head of the femur bones pushing to the ground. Now, as you inhale up to upward facing dog, let your legs come down and your chest lift up. Upward facing dog. Float your thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Take a full breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Take another full breath in. Lift up to your toes. Bend your knees. Look forward. Empty your breath. And float your feet in between your hands. Lift up, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, halfway lift. You want an active spine so your shoulders are coming away from your ears. You flat back, your belly's lifting up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow down and push down with your heels. And with your next inhale, roll all the way up to the sky. Let your arms stretch up, fingers reaching to the heavens. And with your exhale, Samastitihi. Inhale, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, soften your knees and bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Now step back to plank. And yogi's choice, Ashtanga Namaskar or Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale, move forward into plank. So see if you can lift up in between your shoulder blades. Beautiful. Feel your belly like hollow out. Yeah. Feel your fingers spread out. Now, before you move down to chaturanga, move forward to your very tips of your toes, like you're nearly going to fall off your feet. Now, keep your elbows close to your ribs. Slowly lower halfway down. Elbows and shoulders the same height. Inhale, upward facing dog. Your thighs don't actually have to touch the ground first, but they could. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Nice chaturangas. Take a full breath in, and with your exhale, just sigh it out and feel how that affects your body. All right, so we're breathing through our nose with an Ujjayi breath. And you want to imagine your breath, your movement, and really your attitude is all heating up your practice. We're aiming to have a good fire going. So lift up onto your toes, bend your knees, empty your breath, and jump your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet, rise up tall, lift up high. Then exhale, samasti, tihi. Release your hands, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Now reach your leg really long, fully extended. That means no bend in your knee. And now, keeping your chest square to the mat, spin your right hip open. And take your right leg as far to your left as you can. And then bend your knee. You can look over the top of your left shoulder and see that you see your foot. Yeah, feel your left heel dropping down right behind your left toes. Weight in both of your hands. Now with your exhale, take your right knee to your left elbow. If that's too easy, lift it up to your armpit. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, bring your right knee to your right elbow. And then really do try to lift it up towards your armpit. Yes, inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, release your right leg down to the ground. Inhale, reach your left leg up to the sky. First, stretch it long, hips squared, toes pointing down. And then you've got your leg as long as it goes. Let your left hip open up, keeping your right heel grounded. Take your left leg as far to your right as you can, and then bend your knee. Looking over the top of your right shoulder to see the foot. Oh, there it is. And then with your exhale, take your left knee to your right elbow. Lift it a little higher, perhaps. Oh, yeah. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Now try to lift it up to your armpit. Inhale, stretch your leg long. And exhale, release your leg down. Take a full breath in. Lift up to your toes, bend your knees, exhale your breath, and then jump or float your feet in between your hands. Same thing. Halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down to the ground so you can roll up to the sky. Stretch up tall. Exhale, samastitihi. And then bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. With your exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And with your next inhale, just see if maybe you can lift up your right leg. And then see if you can make little circles with your knees. Now take your circles the other way. And then bring your right foot down, shift your weight, maybe lower your hips bravely down again. And then float your left leg and just make little circles with your knee. And then the other way. Oh yeah. And then both feet down. Isn't that easy? Let your hips drop. Take another full inhale. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And this time, bend your knee. Keep your hips squared. Bend your knee and try to lift your thigh up so your hips are squared to the mat. And then slide forward and lift up your chest, coming into a little bit of an up dog, tap your foot to your head kind of pose. Chest forward, your up dog in your chest. Try to reach your head to your foot. And then inhale, stretch your right leg long. And with your exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. And then place your right foot next to your right thumb. Let your back knee come down to the ground. Inhale, lift up, Proposal Asana. Maybe free up your arms. Maybe take a little bit of a back bend. Let's take a couple breaths here. Dropping into the stretch of your thighs, your groins. If you want a little bit more juice, you can even extend your leg with the top of your foot on the ground. And then exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up. Keep your hips squared. Bend your knee and try to lift your left thigh and then glide your weight forward to your hands and bring a little up dog to your chest. So it's like you're trying to go like, oh yeah, just tapping your head, good morning. You're nearly there. Inhale, stretch your left leg long, and with your exhale, bring your left knee to your nose. Pull your belly up. That final lift, deliver your foot next to your thumb. Let your back knee come down. Rise up. Supported crescent lunge. Now, instead of falling into your hips, see if you can lift up out of your hips. Yes, beautiful. And from that space, maybe explore a little back bend. Maybe if you tried it on the other side, extend your back leg. Oh, yeah. And then bring your knee down before you tuck your toes under. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel the lift in the front of your legs and the dropping down, rooting down in the back of your legs. In our whole being and body, we want to honor the earth and the heavens. The up and the down. Take another full inhale. Bend your knees, lift up your heels, empty your breath, and then jump your feet in between your hands. Lift up, halfway lift. Lots of heart. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi, stand up. Inhale, Utkatasana. And this time you're going to try and lift up your right ankle and take it to the outside of your left knee. And then see if you can sink your hips down a little bit. Take another full inhale and exhale. Bring your right foot down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Maybe sit down into it. Keeping your foot flexed protects your knee. Take another full inhale. Exhale, put your foot down. Let your hips drop even lower. Inhale here. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and slide forward, chest lifting, trying to tap your head with your foot. Then inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Suck your belly up. And really carry your foot all the way forward to your right thumb. This time your back leg is strong, but low. So lift up. You shouldn't be much taller than when you had the knee on the ground. So lower, get low, low. And then take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and squeeze your elbows in, like so you're kind of holding onto your head, and just explore a little bit of this back bend. Then inhale, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up. Bend your knee. Try to lift your thigh, keeping your hips squared, and then lift your chest as your weight comes forward to your hands. Lift your head, Sophie love. Yeah. And then inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, pull your knee to your nose and deliver your left foot next to your left thumb. Okay, so here your hands on the ground. See how low you are. Get really strong with your right leg. Stay that low on your legs and just lift your upper body up. Now maybe try cactus arms and squeeze your shoulders together and start to look up. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Connect to the places that you like to kind of glide over. So in downward facing dog, you kind of want to check into your hands and your feet. If you see your toes turning a freakier, lighter shade of you, then just bring the weight more into the balls of your feet. Take another full inhale, empty your breath all the way. Look forward and float your feet in between your hands. Lift up, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Bend your knees, drop your butt. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. See how long your neck is here. It shouldn't get shorter in Utkatasana. Bend your knees, drop your hips, and keep your shoulders reaching down, even if you have to take your arms wider. Stretch your fingertips. We're not cupping the hands, we're really reaching them out. And with your exhale, open arm twist to your right. Reach through your fingertips. Slide your left knee back. Let your hips drop down. See if you can lift up your toes and wiggle them without moving your fingers. Then staying bravely this low, Utkatasana. Exhale, open arm twist to your left. Really get active with your hands. Let your hips sink down, pulling your right knee back so that your hips are still facing straight forward. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Stretch those big toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and then slide forward. Inhale, opening up your chest. Try to tap the back of your head with your foot. Then inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Place your foot deliberately next to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And then with your exhale, you're going to just tap your back knee down to the ground. Inhale, straighten your leg. Ooh, maybe you stay lower here. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. That's 4. Inhale, lift. And with your exhale, take your arms back behind you. And inhale, bring the weight into your left foot and try to stretch your limbs out into airplane. Take a full breath here. And then with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and start to open up so that your right hip's on top, so your left hip's on top of your right hip, and drop your left hand down. Oh, my left and rights are fucked. Okay, your right hand down. Beautiful. So imagine you have elves pulling at all of your edges, making you open up. Notice if you can contract your left side enough to float your right hand. And then with your exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. Let your left hip square. Inhale, halfway lift. Drag your chest forward. And you got it, Isabel. Exhale, wave and open. Twist your ribs. Open up the twist. Yeah, And then exhale, bring your right hand down. Drop your head and come into standing splits here. Yeah, trying to step onto the ceiling with your left leg, even though your hips are squared. One hand at a time to your ankle or your calf. Beautiful. And then release your left leg next to your right leg. Separate your feet so they're hip distance apart. Lift up the bottom of your feet and slide your hands right underneath so that your toenails are tickling the creases of your wrists. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe bending your knees more. Exhale, bow forward. Feel the weight rolling towards your fingertips. So you're kind of flirting with falling forward. And as we play with balance, as we learn, like, how do we balance this in our bodies, you're going to fall a couple times, and that's fine. It starts to tell you more where you are. Feel your belly lifting up. Inhale, halfway lift, release your hands. Toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees, drop your booty, inhale. Utkatasana. Did we do it? Did you break a sweat? Yes! And then exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, and then glide your chest forward, trying to open up your heart so much that your head and your foot connect. Then inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, pull your knee to your belly button, to your nose, otherwise known as. And then place your foot. Now stay nice and low here. Rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, lift up. We're going for 4. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Last one. Inhale, lift. And then take your arms back behind you. Be active in your arms, and then shift your weight to your left leg. Fly forward, palms facing down. Yeah. Beautiful. And then bring your hands to heart center. And feel that you're pushing down with your left foot as you open up your right hip and then open up your arms. Yes, beautiful. So you want to have your left hand about your foot length away from your pinky toe. So a little bit further out. Yes. So that your right ribs can get really, your right ribs can get really long. Nice. I like to say, like, stretch out like a happy starfish. See that you can see your toes in front of your chest. And then with your exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground. Inhale, stretch your chest forward. It's a halfway lift, yeah? And with your exhale, wave your left arm up to the left, twisting your ribs around your spine. And then exhale, Ekapada Uttanasana, standing splits. Let one hand at a time come to your ankle. So to play with balance, we kind of wobble, we dance, we fall sometimes. And then release down, bring your right foot down. This time, step your feet out about hip distance apart. Hook onto your big toes with your peace fingers and your thumbs. Now, most likely bending your knees. Take a bigger step out, Kala. Yeah, there you go. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, bow forward, pulling into it, the weight coming towards your toes. And just to echo back what we did a little bit earlier, shift your weight into your left leg. Inhale, halfway lift, keep holding onto your toes, and then see if you can take your right leg straight out to the right. Oh yeah. All right, and then bring your right foot down, shift the weight into your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift in your chest, feel the power in your abdominals, and then lift up your left leg. Okay, let's try it again. Bring your left foot down, inhale, lift up your right leg. And your left leg. You look like one of those, tabletop those things that do the balls. Beautiful. And then squat down, Malasana. So take your knees out wide, elbows on the inside. If your heels aren't on the ground, take your feet wider or roll up the front of your mat and put it underneath your heels. And then effort and lift your chest up. Beautiful Malasana this morning, pair. Feel your sit bone, your sacrum is like swinging down. So, the sacrum is shaped like a triangle with a point aiming down to the ground. The bottom of your spine. At the top of your spine is the occipital bone. You can Google the spelling. And it's the reverse. It's like this little triangle pointing up. I mean, it's like, it's kind of cool. Like we've got arrows on each end of our spine to remember to like stand up straight. Pay attention to the earth, pay attention to the heavens. They're in that way. I mean, granted, we don't walk around being able to see our own spine. All right, since it's only an hour class. You can bring your knees closer together and sit down. Oh. Now, do a little dance. Come on down. And then reach your hands along your body to the back of your heel so your middle fingers touch the back of your heel. Zzz. And then maybe robot your arms. This helps you really open up your chest instead of squeezing everything underneath first. And tilt your pelvis up and start to roll up, lifting up your hips. Come up into bridge. And literally, you can think about, the bridge between the arrow markers. You can adjust your arms however you like them. Feel your shins coming forward, your chest coming towards your face, your hip bones slamming up into the ceiling, or gently just raising the roof. Notice if you're at your edge. Notice what your face is doing. And then slowly roll down. Hug your knees into your chest. And you're going to roll forward and backwards and come onto your belly, and we're going to do the same pose but upside down. So it might be a little chaturanga hop back. Or you could throw in a handstand there if you want. I mean, whatever. Beautiful. Nicely done. Take your arms out into cactus arms. Squeeze your legs together and then bend your knees. And inhale, lift up everything. You can leave your belly button on the ground if you want, your hips on the ground. Now really lift up your thighs. We've been warming up towards this, yeah? Now stretch your arms out, turn your palms back so your thumbs are pointing down, and reach back and see if you can hold onto your ankles. Beautiful. Once you get the grip on your ankles, flex your feet and pull your toes back. Both feet. Breathe into it. Breathe into it. And then gently release down to the ground. Release your feet. Wiggle your hips side to side. So do you feel how that's the same posture? It just is a very different effect depending where we put the ground. All right, let's do this one more time. Let's do it this way. Lift up your legs, squeeze your knees together, and reach back and hold on to your ankles already, or the tops of your feet. If you can hold the tops of your feet, you can point your toes out, flex your feet, roll up, lift up. Even here, see if you can lift your belly button away from the mat. Totally hard to do. And then roll to your right hand side. Notice when you put the floor somewhere else, you have a different freedom. Let your hips slide forward, your neck can reach back. So you're still shaped like a wheel, not so much a zigzag. So imagine, yes, beautiful. And then roll onto your belly. Lift up a little. You know where we're going, Isabel. And then roll over. Don't know. Do your parents call you that? No. Yeah? Okay, that's where it's from. Let your hips slide forward. Find a freedom in it, a different freedom. And then roll back with a little bit more. Lift it up. Lift it up. And then gently release down to the ground. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push your hips back to your heels, cross your ankles, roll over your crossed ankles. And bring your left foot in front of your right knee. So if your foot's not flat on the ground, try sliding your foot more forward rather than back, and feel that you have both sit bones on the ground. Exactly. If you need to, elevate your hips by sitting on something like a book or a block or a sweater. Inhale, stretch your arms up. That'd be one right arm each. And then turn to your left, elbow hooking to the outside of your knee. So your elbow's actually actively bringing your knee to the midline. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, get twisted. So if it's too easy, Kala, switch your legs. Switch your legs. So left foot is in front, and then it makes it a twist. You could have also switched your upper body, your right. Feel your shoulders come down your spine, get a lot of space. Feel that L between your chin and your chest. Unwind. Bring your hands in front of you. Shift forward to your knees and then stand up, your legs still twisted. And you're gonna walk your hands to the right in like 359 and trip yourself down. Keep going, Sophie. Or fake it to make it. Both work. Right knee in front. I'll be your mirror again. Feel the sit bones on the ground and really feel that you can lift up tall already. Then stretch your left arm, feeling the extension of your spine, and twist. Inhale, lift your spine tall. Exhale, twist. It's a big day, spring equinox. Kala sweated. I don't think I've ever been so happy in my life that someone was sweating. It's really healthy to sweat. And then unwind. And slowly lower yourself however you want onto the ground. Shavasana. Feel free to cover yourself with something. Palms open to receive if that's uncomfortable for you. You can have your hands on your belly. You want your eyes closed. If you struggle to keep your eyes closed in Shavasana, just get in the habit of having something to cover your eyes with. If your lower back hurts, have your knees as wide as the mat. Sorry, your feet as wide as the mat, and your knees fall back together. This is much better than the Supta Baddha Konasana. Because when your knees are wide, it closes off your lower back. One of the ways to stay present in your Shavasana is to listen to all the little weird sounds that are naturally in a house or a room. Excuse me. Maybe start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. The gentle coughing getting you out of Shavasana. And then roll over onto your right hand side, hugging your knees to your chest. Just feel for a moment the vitality and vibrancy in your body. You're amazing. And then help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And you can hear the oming's going to be on you. We're going to close with one om. So bring your hands to heart center. Empty your breath. Take a deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And a little bit of noise because we are awake. I'm glad your eyes were closed. You didn't see the facial twitching. Have a great day. Thank you.